Hello, and thank you for coming again to Gina's Yoga for You. We have a nice gentle practice for you again today. It's about 45 to 50 minutes long with a nice long shavasana at the end. Um, we are going to be starting standing up today. So this practice can actually be used not only as just your daily practice, but also as kind of a cool down if you're coming out of a cardio workout, maybe a stepper or a walk, maybe a run or a dance cardio, something like that, because we're going to keep it kind of warm at the beginning with some movements, and then we'll go into some very deep stretches later on in the practice. So we'll begin standing up today. Come to wherever you're comfortable on your mat with your feet about hips distance apart. And we'll just begin with relaxing the shoulders, letting the eyes shut, just gently, and taking a couple of deep, conscious breaths. Just feel the breath moving through your body. Allow your mind to rest on the breath and on the body. Allow any of your thoughts or worries to just leave. Feel them flowing out through your body with every exhale. And then just come back to this gentle, quiet space. We'll bring our hands to heart center. Just drop the chin a little bit and maybe call to mind an intention for your practice. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop your hands to your sides. Rock back and forth a little bit on your feet here. Just make sure you're feeling balanced over all four corners of your feet, your big toe mound and little toe mound and both sides of your heel. And then gently just begin to pull up through the belly, roll the shoulders back, engage the legs so you're protecting your joints as you stand. And take a couple more breaths here, just standing consciously. Almost feel like you're standing up against a wall. Bring your head back a little bit. And then we'll inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. Pause, retain the breath for just a moment, and then exhale the arms down gently. And we're going to take a couple of these just in your own time, with your own breathing, bringing the arms up, just holding it up there for a very brief moment, and then exhale. And keeping your movement, keeping your breath moving. The next time you exhale, we're going to turn to one side and bring the arms down. So we're kind of just twisting. And then inhale, bring the arms up, turn to the other side as you exhale. Try to keep your feet and hips facing the front and twist just from the belly button up. And only twist as far as is comfortable for you. Inhaling up, exhale down and twist. Again, moving with your own breath here. You don't have to match anybody's speed. We'll keep the arms overhead now on your next inhale and interlace the fingers. And then turn the palms to face up. And on your exhale, just lean over. Get a big stretch, lean over to the left. Get a stretch on your right hand side. And then inhale, come to center and go to the other side. Pressing down through the opposite foot so you get a nice long stretch on the left side of your body here. Inhale to center. As you exhale, gently, slowly begin to fold forward. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to. We're not warmed up. Drop your neck here. If there's any tension, just let the back of your skull draw towards the ground. You can use a block here on any height to place your hands on, or a couple of books, whatever you have handy at your house if your hands don't reach the floor. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Feel all four corners of your foot and your toe on the ground securely. As you engage the front of your legs, feel the back of your legs begin to open. And then slowly exhale and roll up to stand again. Very slowly, take your time. Let your head come up last. And then just take a couple of breaths here into Tadasana. We're going to move to the back of our mats now. We're going to take a couple of sun salutations, and these are ways to warm up and keep the blood moving in yoga. So we'll inhale the arms out, around, and up. These are going to be half sun salutations. Exhale, fold forward. We're not going to take the whole sun salutation, just some breath work here. Inhale, we're going to come to a flat back. So you can have your hands on a block, you can put your hands on your shins, on the floor, and then exhale, fold forward again. When you're ready, press your feet into the mat. Inhale, bring your arms out, around, and up, all the way up overhead, and then exhale the arms down by your sides. Take some shoulder rolls here. Just rolling the shoulders back, bringing them forward, and then rolling back, feeling your shoulder blades come together. And then we'll inhale again. Arms come out, around, and up, and exhale, fold forward. Again, bending your knees as much as you need to. Shift the weight a little bit into the ball of your foot. Inhale into a flat back here. Again, hands on your shins, hands on a block, hands on the floor. Nice long spine. Press your shoulders away from your ears, and then we'll fold forward again. On your next inhale, take your arms out and come up with a flat back all the way around, arms overhead. And exhale the arms down. And we'll take some more shoulder rolls here. Again, mindful of your posture. Feet secure, pressing into the ground, pulling up through the thighs, shoulders relaxed as you roll them forward. And again, we'll inhale the arms up. When you're ready, exhale, fold forward. In your next inhale, come up to a flat back. This is strengthening the back muscles, the muscles around the vertebrae. And then exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, come on up with a flat back. Circle the arms out, around, and up. And exhale them down by your side. I'm going to take one more round. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees a little bit, shift to the balls of your feet, take a little of the weight out of the heels. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up with a flat back, arms circle around and up. Exhale, bring the arms down by your sides. So we're keeping the breath and body moving together here. Keeping the mind engaged with what you're doing. We're going to come to the front of our mats now. Walk to the front and we'll take the arms out, around, and up again with an inhale. Fold forward on the exhale. Lift up to a flat back. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward again, but this time bend your knees deeply. Place the hands on the floor so you're secure. And when you're ready, step back with the right foot into a lunge. Bring the right knee down to the ground. You can pat it up. Take a minute here to get yourself situated to get into a comfortable lunge. And then bring the torso upright. You can sweep the right arm or both arms up. Squeeze the inner thighs together for balance. And press the hips forward for a hip flexor stretch. Tailbone pointing down. And then we'll exhale. Bring the hands to the mat on either side of the front foot again. Lift up the back knee. We're in a runner's lunge here, and then we'll step the right foot up to meet the left and come to a forward fold. Inhale once again into a flat back, again strengthening those back muscles. Exhale, fold forward. This time we'll bend the knees deeply. Again, place the hands securely on the ground and step back with your left leg. Bring the left knee to the ground. Get some padding. You can use a blanket or a towel under the knee if you need to. Take some time here. And then pull the inner thighs together, pull the belly in and roll up. Bring your torso upright. Then maybe sweep the left arm or both arms up, using the inner thighs, using the core as you balance. Shift the hips forward a little to stretch the front of that front leg and sink your lower ribs down and in towards your back body so you can really engage that core and not overarch. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to the front of the mat on either side of your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Long runner's lunge for just a moment, and then step your left foot forward into forward fold. Come on up, roll up on your inhale. Take your time. Stand consciously at the front of your mat. Maybe come back to your intention. Come back to your smooth breathing. We'll inhale the arms out, around, and up again. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to that flat back position again. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, and we're going to step back with both feet this time. So step back into downward facing dog here, or you can come to child's pose, whatever you prefer. This is just a nice long spinal stretch. So you choose what's right for your body today. We're doing a lot of vinyasa inspired movement. And vinyasa is when you link breath and movement. So be sure to listen to your body at this time. If your breathing has gotten quick or gotten away from you at all, take a child's pose here. Connect to the ground. Reconnect to your intention, to your breath. If you'd like to take a downward facing dog, get into the spine and the hamstrings a little deeper. You can bend your knees at first. And then as you begin to engage your thighs, the backs of your legs will open up. Press the hands evenly into the mat, especially the thumb and forefinger side, the base of your palms. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Try to roll your triceps away from each other and roll the biceps to the front of the mat to give your shoulders a little extra space. If you're in downward facing dog now, come on down to your knees and we'll all take a child's pose for a moment. Really stretch the arms, give the hands a little bit of a break. Then we're going to come to hands and knees. So arrange yourself on your hands and knees so that your hands are a little bit ahead of your shoulders. And then we're going to shift forward into a plank position and shift back to child's pose. So inhale to plank. You can do plank on your knees like we're doing, or you can bring this to a down dog and do a full plank if you'd like. So shift back. So inhale, shift forward on your knees to a hands and knees plank. And then exhale, shift back to child's pose. We're just going to keep doing this with the breath. And here I'm going to demonstrate how to do it to add a little bit more heat and intensity from downward facing dog. So we'll inhale, shift to a plank on your toes, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Again, really listen to your breath here. Listen to your body. Don't overdo it. Take it down to the knees. Either way is stretching, is moving, is bringing your awareness to your body, to your breath. It's all part of yoga. It's all part of the practice. So decide what works for you, what feels best for your body right now, and let your mind rest. Take one more round and then we'll exhale again back to downward facing dog or child's pose. Notice the stillness. Recognize what your breath is doing and how the energy is moving through your body. Let's everybody come back to child's pose now to give the wrists a little break. Open and close the hands, maybe roll the hands around a little. If child's pose hurts your knees, I'm demonstrating here puppy pose instead. So your arms walk forward a little bit, so your knees don't bend at quite as severe an angle, but you still get that nice back stretch, just walking your arms forward, dropping your chest down. From here, come on up to hands and knees one more time. We're going to take a side plank or vashisthasana. So before we begin, just pull the lower belly in. Sink, again, the lower ribs, sink them back towards your spine. So you get a nice long spine here. We'll take the right leg back into a push-up position. Only the right leg. The left knee is on the ground. Make sure your hips are level here, that your right hip didn't raise up at all. We're going to drop the inner foot, the inner right foot to the ground and begin to open up to the right side. Now, you may just take your hand a little bit off the ground here, leave your fingertips to linger, or you may begin to open the body, open the chest up to the right. You can keep your hand on your right hip if that feels good, or you can bring your fingertips, reach your arm up, fingertips reaching towards the ceiling. Now here, this is a strengthener for your side oblique muscles in your waist. So really pull the belly in, really feel both sides of the waist working, and lengthen out, lengthen through the crown of your head. As you exhale, we'll sweep the right hand down and make your way back to child's pose. Take your time. Open and close the hands again. Give the wrists a break. This whole series can be done on your forearms as well. If your wrists are getting tired here, just do this on your forearms. Come on back up to hands and knees, or forearms and knees. And we'll take the other side. Again, bringing consciousness to the belly area first. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Pull the belly in. Take the left foot back, toes tucked under like you're going to do a push-up. Hips level so you're not arching. And then we'll drop that inner left foot down to the ground and begin to open up to the left. So pressing that right hand into the mat, engaging the right arm. Pulling in and up with the pelvic floor, pulling in and up through the belly, through both sides of the waist. Shoot that energy out through the top of your head. Maybe place your left hand on your left hip. Maybe bring it up. Point the fingertips up to the ceiling. Try and make a nice long line from your left heel all the way through the crown of your head. Breathe here, nice and long, wherever you are. And exhale, sweep the left arm down, hands and knees again. And we'll come to down dog or child's pose. Yogi's choice. You may begin to feel, if you're in down dog, feel your hamstrings opening up. Just feel the way the energy's moving around in your body. Now, wherever you are, we'll come on back up and come to a standing forward fold at the front of your mat again. And take your time to get there. Gently fold forward, feet pressing into the mat. And we'll slowly roll up to stand. Take the arms out by your sides, reach the fingertips way out, and then we'll bring the arms in for a hug. So placing your left hand on your right shoulder, right hand on your left shoulder, just stretch out the back body here. And then we'll inhale, take the arms out, and switch sides. Stack your elbows and just get a nice stretch between your shoulder blades. We'll inhale, take the arms out again. We're going to begin to play with balance a little bit here in our practice. But there's nothing to be worried about because your feet can always be on the ground, but we're always working on balance as our muscle groups work together. So let's press the left foot into the mat securely, and we'll take the right toes onto the ground in front of you. Level out your hips. Pull the belly in and decide if you want to raise that toe off the mat. Maybe play with your balance a little bit, maybe not. Again, engaging that left leg. Keeping that long mountain pose, that long standing line, almost like you're standing against a wall. Now there's an option here to take a twist if you want to place your left hand on your right knee, whether your toe is on the ground or not, and turn towards the right. Again, keeping that nice long spine. If this is causing you to round over at all, then just place the foot on the ground. I'm going to turn back to the front now and take that right leg and place it behind you. We're going to come to a tall standing lunge here, a crescent pose. So take a moment to get your stance. Make sure that left knee is above your left ankle and sweep the arms up into crescent pose here. Tilt the tailbone down towards the earth so you're not overarching, and pull in with the lower ribs in and down. As you exhale, bring the arms down, bend the knee, and then as you inhale, let's straighten that left leg and bring the arms up. And we'll continue this inhaling and exhaling. Exhale, down, bend the knee, sweep the arms down. Inhale, bring the arms up and move at your own pace here. This is meant to be very slow and deliberate. Use all the muscle groups together. The next time you bend your leg, your front leg, let's lean forward over that bent leg with the torso. Sweep the arms back behind you. We'll turn the thumbs out so that we're working the triceps here. Pulling the belly in, Pulling the inner thighs together, using your support, let's shift the weight into the front foot and slowly bring that back foot along the ground up to meet the front foot. I'm going to sink down into a chair pose, dropping the hips, bringing the weight into your heels, sweep the arms up by your ears, and exhale, bring the arms down, stand up. We'll take a couple of chair poses like that. Inhaling down, bend the knees. Exhale, come on up and drop the arms. Maybe one more time here, sweeping the arms up, pulling the belly in, long line from your tailbone to your fingertips. And exhale, bring the arms down by your sides. Stand at the front of your mat. Just take a couple of movements here for your feet. Maybe just pedal the feet out a little, rock back and forth. And we're going to balance on the other foot now. So pressing the right foot evenly into the mat, root down. Bring some energy and strength into that right thigh. And we'll place the left toe on the ground in front of you. Establish your balance here. Even out your hips. If the left hip popped up a little bit, bring it down in line with the right hip. Play with your balance. Maybe bring that left toe off the ground, maybe not. And when you feel steady, begin to twist towards that left leg with your body, with your upper body. Hips still facing the front. Feel the shoulders spread. Relax the neck, relax your face, and breathe. Pick a focal point. And remember, wherever you are in this balance position is where you're supposed to be, where you're meant to be today. It's different each and every day. We'll come back, turn to the front now, and step back with that left foot into our crescent pose. So the right leg is bent, knee over ankle, left leg is back, and take a minute to adjust your stance. Maybe widen the feet if you feel out of balance. And when you're ready, sweep the arms up by your ears. Pulling in, squeezing in with the outer hips and inner thighs. We want a nice long spine here. We're not looking for a back bend. We just want a nice long spine. So tucking the lower ribs in, pulling the navel back towards the spine. Breathe in this crescent pose. On your next inhale, straighten that front leg. And then as you exhale, bring the arms down and bend the right knee. And again, we're going to continue this movement. Inhaling, straightening the front leg. Exhale, bend the knee as you sweep the arms down. Squeezing the outer hips and inner thighs together. Again, really using your belly muscles, your thigh muscles, all in unison here. Your mind and body together, and your breath, uniting the two as you move up and down. And the next time you come down, we'll lean forward over the right leg. Again, pulling that right hip in and back. Pressing out through the back heel. Turn the thumbs out. Palms face down. And really lift out through the crown of your head. Lift forward with the crown of your head. And then using all of the strength in your legs and your belly, we'll shift the weight to the front foot and begin to pull the back foot forward to meet it. Inhale into a chair pose again, bend the knees, sink the hips. And exhale, come to stand, drop the hands by your side. You can pedal out the feet here again for a moment. I'm going to turn and face the long side of my mat. We're going to do some open hip poses here to stretch the inner thighs and strengthen the outer hips. So take your legs apart, about the length of one of your legs. So the feet are apart and parallel, but take a moment to feel balanced, to make sure that you're not rolling to the outsides of your feet or the inside of your feet. So don't take them so far apart that you're not balanced. Just be balanced on both sides. We'll take the arms out to the sides. Make sure your hips stay even here. We're going to turn the right toes out, turn the left toes in a little bit, and sink the right knee, bend the right knee into Warrior Two position, Virabhadrasana 2. Let the right knee come over the right ankle. Take the arms out to a T. As we inhale, we'll drop the left hand down to the back thigh, turn the right palm up, and stretch up and over your head with that right hand. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, We'll take that right arm, the right forearm, and place it on your right thigh, sweeping the left arm up and over your ear into side angle pose. And we're going to flow here just a little bit. So inhaling back to this reverse warrior with the left hand on your back leg, right arm up. And then we'll move slowly, take your time, into side angle pose with the right forearm on the right thigh. We'll continue this motion and really feel the right hip pulling into the midline of your body. After the next round, we'll come back to warrior two position and hold here for a moment. And then we'll let the arms drop and come to center again, straightening the right leg, turning the feet parallel. We're going to do a little stretch here before we take warrior two on the other side. So bending the right knee, we're going to come into skandasana or modified skandasana, which is just kind of a nice stretch for your inner thighs. So bending the right knee, trying to keep the knee behind the right toes, not letting it come too far forward. You come to where it feels comfortable for you. I'm demonstrating more of the full expression of the pose here, coming all the way down, placing the hands on the ground. You can place the hand on blocks, and maybe lifting the left toes up off the ground. But you can stay with your hands on your thighs. You don't have to come that far down. And we're going to take the other side now. So bending the left knee. Again, keeping it so it doesn't protrude out over your left toes. Feel that stretch in the inner right thigh here. And come down as far as your knee will allow, as far as your body will allow. Keep a nice long spine. If you feel yourself crouching over or rounding over, back out of the stretch. Come up a little bit and lengthen through the crown of your head, pulling the belly in. Only come down as far as your body will allow. And feel the stretch. Let the stretch feel like it's opening you up rather than making you more tense or making your breathing faster. Make sure wherever you are, you're breathing long and full, and feeling your body open up. We'll come back to stand now. Again, readjust your stance so you're balanced. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit. We're going to turn the left toes out now, right toes in just a little. Again, even out your hips. We'll take the arms out to a T. Feel the fingertips reaching away from each other. And then begin to bend the left knee so the left knee is over the left ankle. If you want to glance down at your left leg, just kind of be sure that your knee isn't turning in. Turn it out. Turn your left thigh out so that your knee is kind of tracking over towards your pinky toe. Hold here, dropping the tailbone. Relax the shoulders. Feel like your hands are pressing down into a table. And then we'll drop the right hand down to the right thigh. Turn the left palm up. And we're going to take a reverse warrior. So inhale, take that left palm up overhead, stretch through the left side of the body. And as you exhale, come on back up, pass through warrior two position again. Bend the left arm, take the left forearm to the left thigh and sweep the right arm up and over. Pressing the right foot into the mat, pressing it away from the fingertips for that nice long line of energy. We'll inhale and come back to the reverse warrior, and take this with your own breath, inhaling back into reverse warrior, and then on the next breath come into side angle with the forearm on the thigh. Take this a couple of times, feeling your inner thighs working, feeling the outer left hip pulling in, lengthening through both sides of your waist. When you're ready, we'll come back to warrior two for a moment, dropping the shoulders right over the hips, and we'll straighten the front leg, the left leg again. Drop the hands down by your sides. Bend the knees, and you can wiggle the feet together or hop the feet together, however you prefer. We'll bring the feet together, and we're going to walk to the front of our mats again. We'll inhale the arms out, around, and up. Nice long spine, heels pressing into the mat, toes pressing into the mat. Fold forward. Let your chin drop. The back of your skull pull towards the ground. We'll bend the knees deeply now and step back with both feet into a downward facing dog or a child's pose, remembering you can take a child's pose anytime you need to. Become mindful of your hands on the mat, your connection to the mat with your hands and feet. Again, lower ribs pulling in, shoulders relaxed back. We're going to place the knees down on the ground now. We're going to come down to our belly. So squeezing the elbows in by the waist, we'll bend the arms and lay down flat on the belly. And take the arms out in front. And we're going to come to Shalabhasana, another strengthener for the back body. So reaching the fingertips away from the toes, turning the inner thighs up toward the ceiling. So all 10 toes are on the ground. The toes are not tucked, they're untucked. And the tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. We're going to reach out with the right arm now. Reach out with the right arm and bring it up maybe an inch or two off the mat, and maybe raise the left foot off the mat at the same time, pulling the belly button up off the mat. And then exhale, bring it down. Realign your posture, your body here. Inner thighs turning towards the ceiling, shoulders relaxed. Maybe rock your hips back and forth a little bit. This is a little bit of a back bend. And now we'll take the left arm and reach it forward. First, reach it as far forward as you can, and then maybe lift it up a little. When you're ready, using the strength in the belly, pulling the belly button up towards your spine, lift the right foot, and feel the toe and the fingertips pulling away from each other. On your next exhale, bring it down, and we'll sneak the hands back towards your ribs. So elbows up, pulling together, feel the shoulder blades come onto the back. Hands pressing into the mat right by your ribs. We're going to come up now into a cobra pose. So press the hands into the mat and begin to roll your chest up. You can take this cobra however high you'd like. If your back is a little bit more flexible, you can press the hands and begin to straighten the arms. If not, just feel your tailbone pulling towards the back of your knees. Pull the belly in to protect your lower back. Bring it to wherever you're comfortable and take a breath, relaxing your shoulders and jaw. And then lower the chest back down all the way onto the mat. We're going to take your arms, walk your hands forward a little bit into Sphinx pose. This is again another stretch for the front of the body. We're going to take a little stretch for the front of the legs here too. As you might see, suddenly a prop has appeared by me, a strap. So we're going to again walk the forearms forward. And first, really pay attention to your posture here, sinking the tailbone down, pulling the belly in so you don't strain your back. Roll the shoulders back. And roll the inner thighs toward the ceiling. To get a little bit more of a stretch in the hip flexor, the front of the leg, maybe you bend your right leg, your right knee. Maybe bring the heel a little bit closer to you. This might be enough if you feel a stretch in the front of the leg. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can turn the left forearm, the left hand in for support, and then reach back with your right hand and grab your right foot. If you can't quite reach your right foot, grab a strap, grab a tie, grab some kind of belt or long item in your house and hook it over your foot. And then you can bring that strap maybe over your shoulder and play with how much you want to bend that leg. But it just aids in the stretch if you press the top of your foot into that prop, into that strap. As long as your tailbone is still pressing down, belly pulling up to protect your back. And now come back to Sphinx pose. If you had your leg bent, and we'll bend the other leg, bend the left leg. Again, pressing the hips down into the mat, pulling the belly in. And decide where you want to take this stretch. This side may be different, maybe some knee issues on the side or not as open a shoulder. If you'd like to try and take your foot, turn your right palm in, your right hand in, and take your left hand back. Maybe grab your foot or maybe loop that strap over your foot. Again, just to open up, especially if you've just come off of some kind of a workout, again, walking, running, stepper, kickboxing, whatever we do, a HIIT workout, high intensity interval. This is great for just opening up the front of the body, the hip flexors, those muscles that connect our pelvis to our legs. It's also good if you just do a lot of sitting at work. Making sure you're relaxing your shoulders here, rolling them away from your ears. When you're ready, release the strap or release your foot, or just release your foot back to the ground. We'll bring the hands by the ribs again here. Bring the chest down. Maybe again, roll the hips back and forth a little bit just to even everything out. And we'll press into the mat with a firm belly and press back to child's pose here. This should feel really good after some serious back bending there. Let your hips sink towards your heels if it's comfortable for your knees. If not, again, just walk your forearms forward and bring your head or chest down in between your arms. Feeling the lower back opening up. Maybe shake your head back and forth a little just to remind your jaw to relax, your neck to relax. We're beginning to come into the yin part of our practice, the part where we allow the heat that we've built up to really open up our body. Feel your connection to the ground. Feel your connection to your intention for being on the mat today. I'm going to drop the hips over to the right a little bit and walk the hands over to the left just to grab a nice stretch on that right side of the body. Feel all those little muscles that are in between the ribs opening up to help you breathe better. This is a great time to think about why you practice, why you came here today, and to just be grateful. Be grateful for your body and all it's able to do. We'll drop the hips over to the left side now, walk the hands to the right, and get a stretch on the other side. Be thankful for this yoga journey. This journey bringing body and mind together in your practice on and off the mat. We'll shift the hips all the way over to the side now and come onto your bottom. We're going to have a seat on the mat and begin our stretches. So we'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart at first. And come up to a tall seated position. Your legs don't have to be too far open. You can bring your feet out away from your body a little bit more, or you can bring them in for a little more intense stretch, whatever feels good to you. You can also pad up your knees with blocks or maybe pillows, maybe some blankets rolled up on underneath either of your knees to support them here while you open your hips. Wherever you are, we're going to begin to lean forward just a little bit. And again, we're not thinking nose to feet here. We're thinking chest out towards the feet, so long spine. And as you're here, let each exhale open your hips even more. Sometimes when we try to stretch, we end up creating more tension in our body because we try to stretch too far, or we get all tense for some reason, or it's painful. So don't come to a point where you're feeling any pain, only a stretch. Just play with that edge. And then come on up to sit. We'll take the right leg out straight in front of you, flex the foot, and pull the left foot in so the sole of your foot is against your thigh. It's bent almost like a tree pose leg. We'll take the arms up overhead nice and long and take all that length and fold forward towards the straight leg. This is Janu Shirshasana. Walk the hands out, and again, instead of curling over or rounding your back, feel the line from your tailbone to your crown, pulling the belly in. You can grab hold of your foot here if you want. You can place your hands on the ground or grab that strap again. Strap it around the ball of your foot and hold on to either side of the strap. Relax your shoulders away from the ears as you stretch the back of your skull out towards the foot. It doesn't matter how far down you are. Everybody is going for the same action here, regardless of how far down your torso is. Well, come on back up to seated now, and place that left foot flat on the floor so the knee is pointing up. Now you have an option here. We're going to get a little twisty, so bear with me here. Take the left foot and cross it over to the outside of the right leg. Now, another option here is now to take the right heel and bring it up towards your left hip. Only do this if you can comfortably keep both sitting bones on the ground without hunching over. Otherwise, just keep that right leg extended out. And we're going to take a twist here, turn towards that left leg. So the left hand comes behind you for support, right hand wraps around your knee. We're in Ardha Matsyendrasana. Just some fun Sanskrit for today, pulling up through the crown of your head, pressing down through your sit bones. And always remembering to give a little tug, just a little engagement of the belly to make sure that your back doesn't overarch. Maybe looking over that left shoulder. We'll come back to center now. Uncross the legs, take both legs out in front of you, straight on the ground. You can bend your knees if this doesn't feel comfortable. Bend your knees a little bit. Flex the feet. And take a nice long inhale, lengthening through the spine. This is a very difficult position to sit in because it takes a lot of core strength and a lot of opening for the backs of the legs. And begin to fold forward now over your thighs. Again, keeping as much of a bend in your knees as you need to. Engage the thighs a little to avoid overextending your legs. You can even take the strap around the balls of your feet here too. We'll inhale and come on back up, and we'll bend the right knee and place the sole of the right foot on the inside of the thigh, lengthening out through the left leg. Flex that foot, engage the left thigh. Take a nice inhale, again long spine, turn towards the straight leg, and begin to fold forward. And don't be surprised if this side feels different than the other side. Maybe place your hands on the ground on either side of your leg. Maybe hold on to your foot. Maybe take a strap around the ball of your foot. Wherever you are, again, just play with that about 50% feeling. That feeling of lengthening out, opening, where you can feel something happening in your body, but that it's not so overwhelming that you're breathing heavy and your face is turning red. Just relax into it. Let your body open up. Tuck your chin a little bit. Remember what a very good thing you're doing for your body, mind, self, and really the rest of the world here in this practice. Inhale, look up, and then gently come on back up to seated. Place the right foot on the ground now on the inside of the left leg, or you can cross it over to the outside of the left leg for our twist. And again, if you can keep both sit bones on the floor, bend that left leg, bring the heel up alongside the right hip. A little bit of a twisty yoga situation here, but feel free to skip this and keep the leg extended. Either way, it's going to be a great stretch for the outer hip. So both sit bones pressing into the mat, lengthen up through the crown of your head. We'll take the right arm behind, place it on the floor, and twist toward that right leg, wrapping the left arm around the right leg, just to give you a little bit more leverage. Be mindful of all the points where you're connected to the ground. Gain energy from the ground, bringing it up through your spine, through your belly, up into the crown of your head. And twist on your exhales, maybe looking over that right shoulder. Notice your heart rate. Notice the quality of your breath. Let your exhale bring you deeper into the stretch. And when you're ready, we'll turn back to center. Uncross the legs here. Take a moment and we'll come back to Baddha Konasana, where the soles of the feet are together, knees apart. Again, whatever version of this suits you. The feet close to the body, the feet further away from the body. Just letting your knees drop open gently. Maybe drop your chin slightly. Let your shoulder blades relax down your back. grow up out of the strong roots of your sit bones. Take a deep breath in and out, and then we'll bring the knees together. Place the feet flat on the floor, and we're going to lie down on our mat now. So take a moment to get yourself in a comfortable position. We're going to take a bridge pose, but more of a restorative bridge pose, so a supported bridge. Just roll the shoulders down again so the shoulder blades feel like they're pulling towards the hips, and roll the tailbone down. We're going to press the feet into the mat. Bring the feet about hips distance apart, the heels in towards the buttocks. Press the triceps, the tops of the arms into the mat, lift the hips, and then grab a block or a couple of books or a cushion or something that you have handy that's comfortable, that's going to elevate your hips a little bit. And put this item right around the waistband of your pants. Play with it a little bit, just adjust to where it feels comfortable. And you can rest here in this supported bridge pose, or if you want to get a little bit more of an opening for the hip flexors, with all the heat that we built earlier, we really used the leg muscles in those lunges where we were going up and down in the warriors. And if you've done a workout before, maybe take one of your feet and straighten your leg. Take your foot out. Flex the foot that's straight, and you'll feel a little bit of a stretch, a little bit more of a stretch with your hips elevated in the front of the hip there. Again, making sure your shoulders are relaxed, your jaw is relaxed. If you have the one leg out, you can switch legs now. And if it feels okay on your lower back, you can even take both legs out at the same time. If you do decide to do this, just make sure again that you're kind of making sure the tailbone is pulling towards the back of the knees. Again, so you don't overarch and don't tweak your lower back here. Just enjoy this restorative posture. It's not always necessary to pull and twist and move around a lot to get some benefit for the body. Shoulders are opening up. Feel your chest and belly rise and fall with your breath. Let your hips be heavy. Feel the glow in your body, that warmth that comes from moving your body around, from becoming aware of how it all works. Let's bend the knees now. Place the feet flat on the floor. Lift the hips and remove your object from underneath your back, your lower back. Let's pull the knees into the chest just for a moment. Rock back and forth. And then we'll extend the left leg, pull the right knee in, dropping that right hip to make sure it's level with the left. We'll take the right arm out and begin to take the knee over to the opposite side. So bringing the right knee over to the left side. We're taking a twist here. And again, only come so far as you can where you feel a nice stretch, but you aren't overdoing it or hurting the lower back. If your lower back begins to pinch, just back out of the stretch a little, lengthen your spine. Let your body be anchored with that right shoulder. Maybe gaze over the right shoulder. Maybe you want to place a block or your pillow underneath the right knee to make this a little more of a restorative pose. Feel like your hip is pulling away from your shoulder. Hip is pulling down. And then we'll come onto the back again. Come back to center, bring the knees in, rock back and forth a little bit more. Maybe make circles with the knees. Just allowing that lower back to open. And we'll take the other side, bringing the left knee into the chest, extending the right leg down. Make sure the hips are even. Bring that left hip down to meet the right hip if it hiked up at all. And then we'll twist, taking the left knee over to the right side, anchoring down with the left shoulder. And you might be able to see way at the bottom of the screen, I put my block under my left knee, again, just to make this more of a restorative posture. You can even do a little self-adjustment here, taking your right hand and pressing down and away on your left hip. And moving it in the opposite direction of your shoulder. And again, breathing to open. Notice how your breath has changed from the beginning of the practice, the middle of the practice, until now. Be present fully here in your body. Things could be different tomorrow. Things might have been different yesterday, but here you are right now, right in this moment. We'll come back to center and pull the knees into the chest. Rock back and forth a little bit more. Maybe separate the knees and make circles. Take any stretch that feels good to you here. I'm doing a version of Viparita Karani, which is an inversion, a very delicate inversion, just bringing the feet up to the ceiling. You can do this against the wall also to get a little bit more of a restorative posture here. Again, just opening for the lower back and the hamstrings. And turning upside down, anytime you bring the feet over the head, it can really help your heart rate come down, help with your circulation. As you can see here, I dropped my feet open to the sides just to get a little bit more of an inner thigh stretch here if you feel that's something you need. If not, just be where you are. You can take a happy baby posture. You can lie down with the soles of the feet together, knees apart. And whenever you're ready, bring the feet back together. And we'll take the feet to the ground with the knees bent. And slowly come into our final resting position. Again, you can come to the wall, bring your legs up the wall if that feels good. You can lie flat on the ground with your arms out, let your hands open, let your feet kind of flop open to the sides. Just make sure that your shoulder blades again are pulling down, that your tailbone's pointed down. Maybe you place something under your knees for your lower back if you have any tension there. Whatever feels comfortable. And I have a poem to read for you during your rest. It's from a book entitled Go In and In by Dana Faulds. She writes some really beautiful yoga poetry. This poem is entitled Breaking All the Rules. There are moments when rules are meant to be broken, when bursting out of context is the sole way to see with new eyes. There are fences built only to be torn down. The slats look solid, but no one drove the nails in tight. There are barricades around the heart asking to be breached. Sooner or later, we all run out of excuses for staying small and safe. Release your muscles, release your breath. With every exhale, feel a wave of relaxation come over you. And let every worry, every concern that pops up in your consciousness be washed away. Become aware of the glowing sensation that comes after the practice. Wherever it may be located in your body, allow it to grow with every inhale and spread throughout with every exhale. Let's bring our attention back to the body gently, slowly, by taking a couple of extra deep breaths here, filling the belly, filling the chest. And we'll just move the fingers and toes a little bit, feeling those sensations. Reach up over the head, reach your feet away from your hands, become long on your mat, and then on an exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Sink your lower back and your shoulders into the mat. Close your eyes. Become aware of the sounds and the light around you. And when you're ready, roll to one side and press yourself up to seated. We'll come to your favorite comfortable seated position. We're just going to do a little bit of pranayama, which is breathing practice in yoga. So asana is one step on the 8-limbed path of yoga. Asana is what we practice with our body. Those are the poses that we practice. Pranayama, or pranayam, is another one of the steps on the path, and that's breathing practice. So we did our asana, and now we'll do a little pranayam. So sit in a comfortable position. Take a deep breath in and let it out through your mouth. Take another deep breath in through your nose, very slowly, if you're able. And then when you can't retain your breath anymore, hold it for just a moment. And then slowly, slowly begin to release the breath through the nose. A very slow, long exhale. When you're fully empty of air, we'll do another breath in. So slowly begin to breathe in through the nose. Breathe in, filling your belly, filling your ribs, filling your chest. And then hold for a moment. Relax your shoulders, relax your face as you hold. And then slowly begin to exhale through your nose. Feel grounded, supported, connected. We'll take one more of these long breaths. Begin to breathe in through your nose. Slowly feel the sensation of the air moving in your nose, through your mouth, down your throat, into your chest and belly, and hold. And very slowly begin to release. When you're empty of air, we'll bring the hands to heart center. Begin to just breathe normally here. Take a moment of gratitude for your practice, for coming today, for everything that brought you here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that we get to share our practice, even if it's just over the internet. And hopefully we will be in person practicing together again soon. Namaste.